Them baby carrots ain't gonna baby themselves. It's Comics and Shots, a completely improvised semi-comedic musing by Howard Stern's Mick the Nerd, aka YouTube and TikTok's Mick the Man, aka Mick the Maverick, aka a guy who decided not to have a chicken sandwich tonight. Today's subject, Dark Web, the Marvel Comics event from 2022, I believe. I read all of it in the span of 2 days through totally legitimate methods. Why? 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 I also read Zeb Wells' full arc before then to gain context, and why? We held this whole mystery with MJ and Paul and Peter and other people, I guess, and we just took a break for this weird plan where Ben Reilly apparently made a portal to Limbo, teamed up with the Goblin Queen. They wreak havoc on New York for a bit. And then Goblin Queen holds Jean Grey's hands and they become friends again, and Goblin Queen's all, oh, I don't want to be evil anymore. I'm changing sides, and that totally justifies me killing a lot of people through involuntary manslaughter by demonizing a bunch of stuff. And then Ben, he's like, no, give me the scythe. I'm King Chasm now. And then everybody beats him up and it's done and it's terrible. And here's the thing. That sounds like a really short summary, right? That series was 18 books. All of them connected. And you tell yourself you don't need to read all of it. You just need to read the core issues. But I can't tell what exactly were supposed to be the core issues. They just said, all of it worked in sequential order. And it was too long. No. I'm sorry, but no. No. You need 6 main issues for an event, and then a bunch of tie-ins that don't necessarily, need to be read. They're just there. They're just there, baby. This was trying to be an 18-issue story, everything connecting, and, this is why people have trouble getting into comics. Massive event fatigue. And here's the weird thing. I am one of Zeb Wells' greatest haters. Well, Zeb Wells' 2023 Spider-Man run's greatest haters. And there was the potential to it before that, but I wanted to see how the mystery was resolved. It was resolved terribly later, but especially with the ending of that frickin' Wyatt, whatever, the emissary, I don't know. But they didn't even interrupt it with one of the most pointless events ever that ends with Madeline Pryor being the fucking Limbo embassy. Why? What? Why? What? Why? None of it made sense. And then it was later followed up on in an annual where Hallows Eve tries to break Chasm out of Limbo jail. Oh yeah, Hallows Eve. Basically, she's Ben Reilly's girlfriend who gets turned into a magical supervillain with mask powers after Madeline Pryor shoves a finger into her and says a bunch of magic words. It's not as sexual as I'm making it sound. And then she tries to break Ben out, and then Madeline's like, he has still not paid for his crimes. You were the one doing most of those crimes, lady. Why aren't you paying for your crimes? People are dead because of you. You're the one who casts most of the spells. Ugh. I really want. once again, must say, Zeb Wells' arc, his main run, has parts I like, but the bad outweighs the good of it. It's like, primarily because it's so uneven. It's too much ups and downs in both quality and tone. And Dark Web was the perfect example of that. And man, I am really glad that I did not pay money to read that arc. And I read it through totally legitimate methods. Totally legitimately. But we got Rec Rap out of it. Everybody talks about how good Rec Rap is. An imperfect duplicate of Spider-Man who's super silly and does things backwards. If that sounds like Bizarro, it's because it fucking is. Or more accurately, Doppelganger. And I don't want to be a wet blanket. I know a lot of people like Rec Rap. But, this run only works when it follows up on old stories, but it doesn't do anything new. And Spider-Man has so much potential for new ideas, but some writers, they just kind of do what's expected. And that's the big problem with Zeb Wells' current run. Zeb Wells is not a bad writer. A lot of the issues are actually pretty good, but as a whole, it doesn't average out to being something unique or special. That's my big problem. My problem is the reason why Zeb Wells' run is horrible, why I hate it, isn't because it's the worst thing I've ever read. It's because it's the most okayest thing I've ever read. And that's kind of worse than horrible. Because horrible, absolutely horrible, is memorable. You can build on horrible. This is just a nothing. Almost everything in this series will be retconned and changed, and because it doesn't change things enough, even the stupid MJ and Paul crap, that could easily be resolved, easily. But by the time I'm done finishing this, I will probably barely remember it. There are so many bad stories that have an impact on my life that I think about how they could be done better. This, I nary think of an impact. I nary think of an impact at all. With that, like, comment, and subscribe. Donate if you're feeling nice. Share it with a bear. And always remember, praise be to the Blood Elk, fear the Stabopotamus, and death to Kronos. I want to do a pickleback later. Yeah. Have a night, folks.